We zijn hier in het Nationaal Archief van Schotland in Edinburgh en we zijn op zoek bij RobinUrquhart en hij gaat ons iets vertellen over het Schots-Veerse project om de Schotse kerkregisters toegankelijk te maken via het internet. Hi Robin.
Hi.
Thanks for inviting us.
You're welcome.
And you are working on a project together with the community of Veere and the Zeeuws Archief to make transcriptions of the documents of the KirkRegisters and to translate them and to make them available for a large public. Can you tell us about it?
Yes, of course. The project started when your colleague Peter Blom from Zeeuws Archief talked to me about the surviving records for the Scots Kirk in Veere. And the Scots Kirk in Veere was very important because it was the church for the Scottish staple for exporting to the Northern Europe. And unfortunately, most of the records of the Kirk were destroyed in the Second World War, but the two volumes that survive are a very interesting set of deaconry accounts. In Scotland, we would call them Kirk session accounts, and they're records relating to the giving of poor relief to people who were in unfortunate circumstances on the continent, and the idea that Peter had was to transcribe them and then to publish them with a translation in modern Dutch, because most of the writing is in 17th century Scots, and some of the documents inserted are in early Dutch, so it requires quite a bit of expertise to transcribe both of these accurately. So we have a team of volunteers here in Scotland, and they transcribe most of the records, and they do it usually with one person doing a transcription and then a second person checking their work to say that it's accurate. And then we pass these to the Zeeuws Archief, who have volunteers in Middelburg who then translate the records into modern Netherlands. And we're about 80% through one of the two volumes, and hope maybe within the next year that we will have completed at least one volume and can move on to the other one. And they proved to be a very interesting documentation, both for helping to train paleographers here in Scotland, because we give them to some of our younger archivists as paleography practice. And they're also going to be of enormous use to historical researchers because of the content that's within them.
Yes, of course. Can you show us some example from one of the pages and one of the transcriptions?
Of course, yes. So here we have a page from the accounts in 1635, and this is a page from the accounts showing money going out. So in each case a payment is being made by the deacon, and in this case the deacon is James Ellis, and so here he's saying disbursed by James Ellis for the poor, and this is money that's being given to individual people. Some of them are residents of the Scots community in Veere, so these are widows or men who are in some sort of difficulty, maybe ill or old, but many of the entries are payments to people who are just passing through. So here, for example, there's on the 20th of October to the Ingle skipper, that's the English skipper, for John Waddle and his wife and 3 children, their frocht, And what that means is they're paying a skipper of an English vessel to take somebody called John Waddell and his wife and 3 children, probably back to England or possibly to Scotland. The fact that it's an English skipper suggests that these are maybe being taken to England. And what we're finding is that the Scots Kirk really should have been acting primarily for the Scots community in Northern Europe, but we find that they're also helping out other nationalities such as the English, the Irish, Danes, the French, and they're just helping to repatriate people throughout Northern Europe. And possibly also the most interesting case we found is they may have helped out the Icelandic captives who were taken on the Corsair raid on Iceland, and about a decade after these people were ransomed by the Danish crown, we think we found examples of the Icelanders finding their way to Veere and then perhaps being helped on their way.
It would be lovely to search it out, because there are some Icelanders in the church records I saw.
Okay.
And it would be nice to put a student on that to search it out and to write a paper maybe.
Maybe, or perhaps on the wider aspects that these Corsair raids had a very, very big impact on Northern Europe at the time, and the Kirk records are certainly full of incidences where the Kirk is paying to help ransom other people, Scots and other nationalities, to try and get them out of captivity in North Africa. And the Kirk records are certainly full of those. There's lots of references to that, so it would make a very interesting study indeed. Yeah.
So a lot of work to do, and a lot of benefit when it's completely ready, I think.
I hope so, yes. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Robin.
Thank you.